I'm Jake Schriner.
I'm Bob Nelson, and I have a face for radio.
I'm Tracey White.
And I'm Pastor Johnny Leckie, broadcasting live straight from the heart of Aurora, Colorado. Welcome.
Cheers to you.
This is the Compass Conversation Podcast. Welcome, friends.
Jake, we can do it again if you want to get
We will follow you. You have the name above every name. We will follow you, King Jesus.
That's me.
His regular voice is a radio voice.
Oh, we're back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're
Do
back.
we need another thumbnail, or are we?
Oh, yeah, we did.
Yeah.
Oh.
That was my thumbnail.
Okay.
I had to turn my...
Thumbnail.
That's stupid. All right, here we go. I mean, I'm saying it to me, not to you. What I said. All right.
Sorry about that false start the first time.
It's okay. We're still rolling them now. It's rolling for real.
Yeah.
All right. Very good. All I was saying before was we missed a week. We're now back, so we have a lot to yak about. Bob is back. Welcome back. I don't even remember why you weren't here before.
I was not
You were
feeling
ill, right?
Yes.
It's been so long. I think.
It has been a while.
And so now I will turn. Jake, how are you doing, man?
I am doing good, thank you. Yes, has been a couple weeks. So yeah, let's see if I can repeat what I did last time. No, we had, Easter was our big Sunday, had the full band and everything. Unfortunately, Clinton Harper couldn't make it because Harper was a little under the weather, but she's doing all better now. So that, the day before Easter was the last day she was really not feeling great. So she's back to 100% and doing good, which is
Good to
awesome.
see her yesterday.
Yeah, and so then yesterday, I led basically the worship.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah,
We can talk
which
about
was-
it. We can talk about it in a few minutes.
We'll talk about it in a few minutes. Yeah, that's cool. And then
It was awesome.
Yeah.
Spoiler.
And
Totally.
should we talk about the garden now too? Or like, well, one funny thing about the garden.
We're going to talk about that too.
We'll just kind of a funny. So I went out there yesterday after 6.
Oh, right, yeah.
To go give it its first water. Water's not turned on until the second weekend of May. So I think I have the fix.
Okay.
We're still only allowed we're still only allowed to hand water those days.
Yeah.
But they don't have any water turned on. Well, I don't want to like ruin their schedule, but they never said anything about not carting water in or anything. And I've been wanting to upgrade some camping gear anyway. My parents got me a bunch of the stuff at Bass Pro, so I was thinking as a part of what I get for all my camping gear, I can buy like a big water tank or reservoir or something. Like a big bladder,
Just kind of walk in.
20 gallon or a couple of 10. I mean, just something where I can truck out some water.
We're ahead of the game is the problem.
We got too excited. But I mean, stuff like broccoli and cauliflower, cabbage, everything we planted yesterday, you want in the ground early. So that's why we did it. But yeah, so I'm going to do some problem solving on that one. But I think other than that, we'll be just fine.
All right.
I wonder what they're going to think. You think any of them are going to
walk out
and go, what is going on? There's no water.
The bummer is Thursday we have worship practice.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
We do.
Harper and I will run over there before worship practice or
Okay.
something. But yeah, so that was kind of funny. I realized that yesterday, obviously, when the water wasn't on, and I'm thinking,
Did you say the second week of May?
I think it's the second or third, what is it? Second or third weekend of May. It's like Mother's Day, I think, is what they shoot for turning the water on. Because
That's the second
they
week.
want to be, they don't want any risk of frost.
Yeah.
Right.
So,
That makes sense.
I thought by now, because they said they leave it on until end of October.
Yeah.
So there's definitely frost in the fall, so
Sure.
I thought we were safe. But it would have behooved us to try it while we were there the first time.
Yeah,
Before we planned anything, oh hey guys, look, the water's not on. We should cut it off
Before
here.
putting the stuff in the
Yeah. But no, it'll all work out. I'm not worried. But yeah, other than that, work's been crazy with. I mean, still the issues of not being able to find people, but now we're getting to the point where. My foreman, I think most of you guys know, is he's still unconscious. Unfortunately, he's still in the ICU, and so that really put our backs against the wall. And so I had to make some real drastic changes last week to just keep the company moving.
Sure.
So we cut off deliveries. We're pushing lead times way out. We're cutting back hours, so we're not going to be open on every Saturday anymore. We're just going to go to every other because otherwise all my guys are going to get burnt out.
Yeah.
And with every other, they're still going to get the opportunity for guaranteed overtime. So everyone's happy. But the owner comes in this morning, and her and I were talking a little bit, and she's kind of like, give me a whole laundry list of stuff she's upset about over the last week.
Oh no.
Yeah.
This is the internet, remember, before we go.
No, I won't say anything, but I was like, you know, there was no argument or anything, but I just kind of looked at her. I was like, Amy, if you're hiding 3 or 4 people you haven't told me about, all our problems go away. But until that day, like, this is what we have to do. I'm sorry, I know it's not ideal. I don't want to do these things.
Yeah.
But to keep us afloat and not risk losing anybody else,
Right.
I gotta find a way to take it easy on them.
Yeah.
So that soured my morning a little bit. Just because, you know, I feel like I'm doing a good job, but like, you know,
it's 'cause you had some
not
great-
having the
you had a
approval of
great
your
day the day
superiors is
before.
tough.
You had a
Yeah.
great day the day before, so this was waiting for you.
Yeah, it was. But no, I mean
Yeah,
everything's fine. Like she understands it's tough right now. So, but I think we have a lead on a few good people, and I was just in contact with a guy that's going to be my new foreman starting at the end of June. So I got to make it like 8 or 9 weeks, and I'll be okay. But yeah, other than that, you know, things are.
It's like dealing with the water not being on.
Yeah.
Find those.
We're gonna find a way to do it.
Find
Yeah.
those solutions.
But other than that, yeah, life at home's going really good. So yeah.
Just wondering if they sell workers at Cabela's or whatever when you're picking up the.
Well, we had a conversation today about that. It was like, do we go down the route of hiring someone that does not have all their proper documentation? How do I put this as PC as possible, right?
But there's-
You know, so I mean, the problem is we would have prior knowledge to that, and so you couldn't claim like, oh, I had no idea. Like if all of a sudden people started snooping around, you know, and I just I don't want to put the company in a position where we get in trouble, you know, and that's sort of a desperate move.
Yeah.
You know, just to save a few bucks and blah blah blah. Like
We're really close to me actually editing something out of the podcast.
there are day labor places that do that for workers.
I know, yeah. So we're gonna investigate those routes too and find like the temporary labor services, and that's the next step.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm not gonna implicate myself in anything.
It's too late. It's recorded. It's what I would say.
I said we were thinking about it. I never said we were gonna do it. Who hasn't thought about it? This day and age, most business owners go. Yeah. Other than that, things are great.
Right on.
Get them on the fast track. Okay. Well, thank you for all that, Jake.
Yes.
But it was only just a few seconds worth of Jake talking. So we're going to move on. Just kidding. Bob Nelson, how are you, man?
I'm not having labor shortage. Well, I don't know. I take that back. We are having a labor shortage problem. Yeah, we're getting a lot of work in different areas that we're having to absorb for different teams. So, but which, you know, it's like when you get into the office and you see you're dealing with somebody else's team's stuff, you're like, why us? It is what it is. So that's, you know, or as we put it, it is the road we are traveling.
It's the road. It is our road.
It is our road. Yes,
This is our road.
but yeah, you know, and work it was just a pretty decent day. Things worked out. I had to work a little overtime because somebody missed an appointment last week. So yeah. So, but it worked out fine. We got things done, and I didn't have to do as much with him as I expected. So that's all good. And then the other part is I've got 2 job opportunities that are coming up in the next couple of weeks very quickly, and both of them will entail a pay raise. One more than the other, and it's also the job that I think I want more. So,
But of course, in the same company.
yes, in the same company, yeah. So, and just something that's been, you know, we've been working on for a long time. It's about 5 years overdue. So, yeah. So yeah, it's all good. All right.
I hope that happens for you. That's
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. One or the other will absolutely happen.
Right
That's the nice thing. When you're being poached by other managers, you know,
Yeah,
it's a good start. And I had the interview last week with them, and that went really well. So I'm not even. It's one of those things. Not even worried about it, except saying. It's a great. Thank you so much for the opportunity, but no. So the other one's a position that a senior position of what I do now. So
Right on. Cool.
So yeah, that one. That's the more money, and the one that. Here's the kind of funny part. It keeps me in that gospel influence area. I have more influence over more people, and I'll have even more of that gospel influence over more people. So
Cool.
that's awesome. I'm excited about that.
That's good. Very good.
Thank you, Pastor Bob.
Yeah.
Very
So, yeah,
cool.
life's good.
Yeah, that's awesome. Tracy.
Yes.
How are you, sir?
I'm here. And, well, you know, getting over the allergy stuff. It's kind of kicking in again. Today was a frustrating day.
Yes.
Not really sure why. I think it was a combination of things, and yeah. And then a good friend of mine called, and I told you guys about him, and looking forward to seeing him. Yep.
Yeah, good.
I mean, Kathy brightens my days anyway,
Sure.
but this was just kind of out of the blue and out of the ordinary, so it was really great to hear from Matt. So looking forward to spending some time with him. But work is work, life is life. Kathy and I did a lot of manual labor this weekend, and on Saturday, and
Weird.
again on Sunday, and the garden is awesome.
It was therapeutic for me.
I thought for a second the problem that you were going to say was, well, the lady
wrong
that runs the
plot.
place calls and says it's the wrong plot. Yeah, that would be.
It was kind of a running joke.
Yeah.
And then the plot really does thicken. Hey! To revisit the title.
Well, could you swap things around a little bit in that case?
Yeah, how much would it take at that point to just talk to the other person? Be like, listen,
Hey, I'd like to
would
take
you
this
mind
one.
switching? Yeah,
Yeah.
like, we'll clean that off too. Can we just leave our plates to the ground?
Yeah,
They're
yeah.
all the same size.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Where do you lose them?
We'll just all show up one day with just like a big, each of us has a giant thermos or something, and we'll water as we do it that way.
Here we go. Yeah,
Just
perfect.
pour
Everyone
water.
just brings a little bit. We'll just.
That's right.
Oh, yeah.
I was going back to the other thing.
That's a good idea. But Jake,
The worst
great
idea.
job yesterday.
Thank you.
And thanks for leading worship.
No, thank you.
Yeah, that was
And,
awesome.
and I really enjoyed
Well,
your
thank you for the
message,
text
which we'll get
message, too.
to. I know we'll talk about it a little bit.
Well,
Do we have to go back to last week as well? I mean,
No, not necessarily.
but I liked
Like
it.
tomorrow.
Whatever
I
we
always like
can
that
always-
regrounding thing, It's great.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
Johnny, how you doing?
Oh, yeah, I'm just sleepy today. I kind of just drained. I don't know if it was just a long week into the weekend, even though it was great. Today, I didn't even have to go to the school today, but I'm still kind of drained. So I don't know what's going on. But
Recovery.
maybe that's it.
Yeah.
Maybe that's it. But yeah, so a lot of stuff I could talk about there. But generally speaking, I'll just leave it at I'm a little sleepy, but I'm doing well. Ready to talk about the weekends. Yeah. Let's start real fast. We'll talk real fast about Easter. Easter, 2 Sundays ago. That was a great day. We had a number of people visiting with us. You had some of your family that was there.
That was very nice. Yeah.
They seemed to enjoy the experience. I don't know if it was
Oh, they
being
loved it.
nice.
They absolutely loved it. No,
good.
the 2 oldest, Cameron and Chloe, both said that was like their favorite service they've ever been to. They usually go, like,
Is that right?
yeah, they usually go to, just
Congratulations, guys! Let it go.
like larger churches and big.
Yeah.
So it was actually funny. I was talking to Laird later on in the day, and he was laughing. When Chloe was little, like 2 or 3, whatever, and it was on Easter Sunday, and they went to, and as they walked through the door, Chloe goes, "Daddy, we've been here before. This is where we came on Christmas." And he's like, "All right, we're just gonna go to our seats." Like, he was laughing. He's like, "Man, way to identify ourselves."
It's like we were talking about that a couple of weeks ago.
And no, they
fantastic.
loved it, and it's nice that my in-laws are down in Castle Pines because that's a good halfway stopping point for their drive because they're up in Fort Collins.
Oh, yeah.
And Michelle, Colette's sister, was saying they want to try and make it down, regularly, like once a month or every other month or something for Big
That'd be
Sundays.
great,
So
yeah.
it's like,
Oh, for Big Sunday.
yeah, for Big Sundays they really like the music and like the message and stuff. So
Right on.
Well, we get Cindy that comes down from Michigan, so.
Yeah,
Well, that's right.
So we're kind of a commuter church.
and that's
They're
okay.
coming from all over.
you gotta live really close or really far away.
See, folks, this is what you're missing. We have people from everywhere coming to us.
That's right.
And you're not there. You want to be there.
When we say compass, we mean compass.
From all
Covering the globe. That was not good. I'm starting to self-censor myself. This is one of those nights I'm like, gotta get myself together. All right, so yeah. So anyhow, so that was awesome. Glad they were there, and Easter was great. And we did. One quick word about "All Over Me," the song "All Over Me" at the beginning, right? 1982, Petra. Right?
Yeah.
All over me. It ended up going pretty well.
Yeah.
Michael was not happy with his delivery after. He was like, no, it was great, man.
Yeah.
But Jaden's dad, I mean, he made quick comment about that. He said, "Oh man, you guys are right up my alley now." So that was one of those early songs right after I became a Christian. Man, that was awesome.
Awesome. Really cool.
It was a throwback, so I thought that was kind of fun. And then we did the egg hunt after and had some grilling, and that actually went really, really well.
Good.
Just some pictures of that, but you just couldn't stay very long. But yeah, I was pleased with how that went. Even the kite flying, and yes, I got that thing stuck.
You charged around that.
I wasn't going to say too much about it.
Well, I was playing. I can't remember who it was I was helping. I think it was Ion.
Yeah, I think it was Ion. Yeah.
He kept going towards that way, so I was kind of walking with him. It's like there's not a tree within like a mile of him, and I'm walking straight to it.
We got it out without cutting the tree down.
That's right. We did.
So we're breaking it down.
So that's good. Yep. So anyway, so Easter. Anything else about Easter? I finally stopped talking from the Gospel of Mark, so that was clamped that off at Easter for just a little while. But I think we finished finally the Transfiguration. So
Yes.
All right, so
I think that's I think that is and I know you mentioned this before, but what a wonderful message for Easter Sunday.
Yeah.
And for great example, say my in-laws, my brother-in-law and sister-in-law, like when you're only going twice a year, you hear the same message at Christmas and then the same message. And it's like this, it's like the Bible's 1,500 pages. Stories, you know. So I think that like if you had to pick a different moment, I think the Transfiguration is like perfect for more close to for an Easter Sunday message too. So I think
that's awesome.
Yeah, and that's cool.
Back in the day, I actually would do. Back in my day, I would do a relationship series and make the first message of the series on Easter. Right, so it was like, and I would always bring the resurrection into the message, but it really was kicking off like relationships or marriage or something like that. It's a little bit of a come on back next week,
right?
And it was very much unexpected too. So I may actually do that again. We'll see. You heard it here first. All right. I'm not going to remember this next year. Anyhow,
though I did like the relationship series that we had recently wrapped up. I got to use some of that in a conversation with one of my kids.
Oh, fantastic!
It was really great.
Yeah, we got a kids series.
We started that a year ago.
I know.
That's about how long I've been. That was the first Sunday I went. Was the start of the relationship series.
Right.
We did a relationship series, but then we did others, and then I did the marriage.
We did the momentum, and then the marriage series, and.
I'm really impressed that you're remembering what I was calling these series, Jake. With no promos.
It's good to remember.
Yeah, it's awesome. Someone's paying attention.
You're keeping me on my toes. Jake always remembers what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I can't wander off. But I don't want, you know what's great about that? I'm kidding a little bit, but I love that because this is not a cult. I am not a cult leader.
That's right.
If I say something that seems a little off, we talk about it, and it'll work that through. And maybe I might be wrong. So I've been wrong many, many times.
By the way,
usually not when preaching, but I have been wrong.
Yesterday, I wanted to let you know. I know you were looking over at Josh from time to time, and he was probably more because he always comes tired.
Yeah.
But he was really listening.
Yeah, he was
talking to him about that. He was listening. So
awesome! All right, let's talk about yesterday then. That's the best thing about yesterday so far, I've heard.
Fishers and men, people.
Yeah, I got to tell you, that was not for me to start that kind of talk again. Was not a part of my original plan. I was even talking about a little bit about it on Saturday, but. You know, the expression has been used by a well-known pastor that vision leaks. And meaning, you think you've poured tons of, you say the same thing again and again and again, but it just leaks. And you have to keep coming back or we lose track. So I will always be talking at some point in some way about those kind of basic foundational stuff about our church. So And that's pretty foundational. I mean, the opener there. Now, some of those illustrations, and again, I apologize ahead of time for those of you, not ahead of time, after the fact. Where are we in time? What is
yesterday?
Saturday of last week.
For things that happened yesterday and last week.
Right.
Yeah, I want to apologize ahead of time for what I did 2 months ago. So, anyway. Just some of those illustrations I know I've used before, so some of you guys have heard it, but not everybody has. And that's part of the deal with new faces and a few new people. It's time to kind of bring everybody else on board with what we're about.
Sure.
Yeah.
So, yeah, what else about yesterday?
So you started off with the vision, which is following Jesus and leading others to a passionate life in Christ.
Yes.
Man, I got it right.
Pretty close.
I had it
Almost
here.
verbatim.
It's all about following Jesus, our compass, and leading everyone to a passionate life in Christ.
There you go.
That was like,
Pretty close.
You
Very
got,
close.
like got one word.
Got one word off.
Yeah.
Dang.
It's semantics at that point.
It's sort of like
Yeah.
it's like a B plus.
That was an A. Like,
Okay.
not
It's
even
an
an A minus.
It's an A.
Okay.
Good job.
I can settle for a solid. But if we don't have that foundation, then the rest of being who we are kind of doesn't make sense.
Right.
You know. If then coming down Christmas and Easter that's fine.
Yeah.
You know. So to do more than that, we need to really focus on those things. Yeah. So being fishers of men, we need to show people how to do that.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I definitely took it a different angle than I normally do there because first I wanted to, it was refreshing people about the picture on the wall idea. You know, you just, oh yeah, that's one of our things. Oh, that's printed every week. Yeah, we see that. Oh, you said that. Yeah. More, stronger, closer, blah, blah, blah. By the way, which I loved you mentioning a couple of weeks ago in the podcast when we were talking about t-shirts.
Uh-huh.
And you said, I think it'd be great if we had a more, stronger, closer.
Yeah.
And you said the word, you knew it. I remember the Sunday I went, so Covenant Church is all about following Jesus, and we do that by and leading everyone to a passionate life in Christ. We do that by 3 words. There are 3 words that we use a lot around here. And I looked out, and everybody was just like, and I felt like at that point I'd already said it. Go to church, read the Bible.
Jesus.
It's gotta be Jesus. It's gotta be Jesus the answer.
Oh, goodness.
But and I felt at that point I'd already said these things. They're already tired of hearing this, but nobody had it. It's like, I'll stop when you get it. You know, it's like, just kidding. Sort of. But yeah. So I think that's true. I think we do need to have a couple of shirts that are like that.
I
That'd be
agree.
We need to do a summer shirt.
Oh my goodness,
And by the way, that's one of those things guys don't have to feel any pressure about doing shirts. But if you'd like to, let's talk. Let's get it on the
Kathy and
calendar.
I talked about it yesterday.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what we talked about.
Okay. After. Okay. It's all
Let me
good.
forget.
All right. No pressure on you at all
Yeah,
because
good.
we have there are other options we can.
Yeah.
All right. So anyhow, what was I talking about? So we started.
Yeah, a little different.
Leading everyone to a passionate life of Christ. The fishers of men part, the reason I moved, aside from just it being like the picture on the wall, was also that idea that it's just not a burden, right?
Right.
There's a fishers of men, it's like, okay, so I have to do what now? It's about overflow. I mean, I always say it's overflow.
right.
And it's also, ironically, when you begin to care about people, you are growing deeper in your faith.
Right.
You're actually putting that into a situation where you're having to, I need my Bible better. I need to be praying more. And nothing does that better than starting to pray for a neighbor or a friend or a coworker or having a conversation with a relative or something like that. But if you're really, I mean, we all know people who are that guy that's just obnoxious all the time. It's not what I'm talking
I
about.
could be that guy if you want.
I'll say, tell us about some cruises, Tracy.
Right.
So I mentioned
Retiring in a year, right?
Yeah, exactly. I mentioned gospel influence earlier, and the one of the most almost startling ways I saw that was we had a team, just in office potluck for Christmas, and so one of the guys goes, who's Catholic, actually, interesting comment. He goes, "Hey, somebody should bless the food," and literally everybody looked at me. So I'm like, okay,
That's awesome.
and that's the kind of thing that when you are living it in a well or not, but at least you're living it in that way where you're practicing it and kind of go in that direction as best as you can. People see that, and that's where it matters.
I agree. And you have to use words. It's like the old line that says, preach the gospel, and if necessary, use words. But my difference on that is that you have to give words, or they don't know why you're so great, or so whatever. But your actions and how you act at work and everywhere else. Christians, we'll talk more about this when we get into that series I keep teasing for the last half year. But we actually are going somewhere in the flow. It doesn't look like it, but we are. Certain things I have to talk about before I get to this. But anyway, a part of it will include talking about work. And, Christians should be the best workers. And I don't mean like the most talented. I mean the most faithful. They're the ones that are on time. They're the ones that they, if they have a supervisor or a boss, they're the ones that they are looking at and going, wow, I wish everybody was more like this guy. It's sort of the Joseph principle. Joseph from the Old Testament, not Joseph like as in Joseph and Mary,
Right.
Where you bloom and you rise to the top wherever you are. Why? Because we are admonished and commanded in Scripture that whatsoever we do in word or in deed, do all in the name and for the glory of the Lord Jesus. So we should see our work as an offering of worship and being the best that we can be, because we work unto the Lord, even though we have a human boss.
Right.
And so
Our human overlords.
But hey, Joseph, it was had to be in a slave role,
Right.
and then he was
Yeah.
in prison, and then he was misaligned. Yeah, there's that whole story is a fantastic series.
Yeah.
But I'm not waiting till
there
every
yet.
decade to preach it. But anyhow,
One point about Joseph, the reason why he started out there is because he didn't know what he was doing, and it's like, hey guys, look, you got to be your Lord, to all of his brothers. And like, throw him in the pit.
knowing when to say, what to say. He was being that guy.
Love being that guy.
He got some wisdom. Yeah, that's true. But anyway, all that to say is that whole fisher of men idea is an overflow thing. We talk about what we care about. That's why it's passionate life in Christ. I didn't quite say it that way Sunday, but that's sort of the idea. It's like if you're passionately following Christ, you're not an obnoxious person, but you do start caring about people differently because you begin to see them like Jesus did. And so.
The illustration that resonated, one of the illustrations that resonated with Josh was the grape soda.
Was it the grape soda? Excellent.
Shake it up.
I should have done it and made him come up and I should have brought it and did it for real.
That would have been great. But
Yeah, great bet. It works better than anything else.
Provided a decent little conversation after church with him, saying, the whole thing is what goes in is what you overflow with, and that's why we need to be careful on what we.
Yeah, that's awesome.
You
So
can
glad.
do a Mentos and Diet Coke
Yes.
example.
That's a whole different illustration.
I know, that's pretty aggressive. That one's a little
That's a
more.
combination. You combine the wrong things, everything's gonna blow up. I'll have to remember that later. But it's a great bet. For some reason, it's so carbonated. I don't even know if you can get it around here. You might can find it at King Supers.
Never heard of it.
It may be a Walmart brand or something. It's just kind of one of those no-name brands. But I just do it every time. Great bet. Almost everything will. Anything carbonated will. But I can always count on a good old Great Bet. Not a sponsor of the podcast, but if you'd like to be.
Contact me, Bob, at compassdenver.com.
Sounds like you could use
you're still around.
sponsorships out there. Since nobody knows who you are.
It's true. We can help.
Oh, well.
With our,
Every time we do communion, we use grape.
Carbonated communion.
It's a little different this time, y'all.
Oh, good grief, great bit. Anyhow,
It's gonna settle for a second. Hold on.
but I'm so glad. I'm so glad that Josh remembered.
Yeah.
Or made the connection from that illustration. That's great.
That's the other thing he says about you is that you connect on his level,
Oh, good.
as well as somebody on my age group as well. So
I think that's a sign that he's really paying attention to them.
yeah,
Because you're not going to have that connection. Like you could have the greatest speaker there, but if you're not looking at them or paying
Yeah.
attention or hearing what they're
Not
saying.
listening. He has ears to hear. Is what's happening right now. That's
yeah.
good. Now I do know that even in I have a preaching professor, and he always was adamant. He's like, man, if you're going to be a pastor, you're going to speak to a congregation, you need to try and be able to strive for it. It's almost impossible, but strive to communicate in such a way that a small child in the room,
Yeah.
as well as somebody who has a doctorate or whatever,
Yeah.
is still going to understand what you're talking about. So I was like, okay, no challenge there. Okay.
You do a good job, Johnny.
Well, thank you for that.
That's
I
for sure.
appreciate that encouragement. I don't always feel like I'm doing a great job, so I do appreciate that. I'm always going, I wish I had more time. But maybe God's clamped the time on me so that I'm not like preaching 2-hour messages or something. I've studied
Because
so
you
much
could,
this year,
right?
this weekend. I could, for sure.
One of these days, he's going to keep going, and all of us are going to be out there going,
Oh, I always know that it's time to wrap up if I see even anybody go like that. It just not even nicely. There's like, because sometimes it's like something can be really, really good, and you're really into it even, but you can only sit for so long, and then it's like,
Well-
I think I need to go to the bathroom, but this is great, but
So
Almost done.
don't always
Start losing
think
focus.
that something negative that they're checking their watch. I wear a Fitbit, right? Not sponsored.
oh, you're checking your Fitbit.
But no, every hour at certain times, it will buzz me saying, "Hey, you need to get your steps for the hour." And it'll just go, "Bzz," and so I'll look at it, and it'll say,
Just
"You
stand
still
up.
have 250 of 250 steps to go."
Next time it does that in the middle of the message, just pull a Harper, just stand up, start walking around.
Yeah, just
In place.
right in the middle of the room.
So stinking cute.
Go ahead, Johnny. I'm just gonna sit here and play the cajon for a little bit.
And speaking of, that does bring us back. Yes, Jake, you led the base camp worship stuff yesterday, and that was great.
Thank
It's a
you.
nice
With the help
change.
with Tracy and Morey, of
With
course.
Morey and Tracey, yep, adding to that.
Might be in there.
Jaden was supposed to be a part of that yesterday, but Lily was sick, so
Yeah.
she's like, but I still want to. I was like, yeah, you're gonna have an opportunity.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
It'll be more.
So yeah, that's kind of cool. I like that. It actually yesterday, I mean, part of me likes the crazy, right? The everything's going, and then boom, I'm just going to give it all I got when I speak.
Yeah.
But I also know that could make me sound wild and crazy. So like it'd be too much.
Okay.
So yesterday was nice that I was able to just sit back, kind of worship, no pressure about anything. And then when it's time to speak, I was on for that. So that was great. It's nice.
That was I'm glad that that's helpful.
Yeah,
for you, for
yeah.
sure. I think you got a lot on your plate already, so.
Yes, Jake. Yes, I do. All right, but I'm working on that
Get a bigger plate.
we'll be wandering into some sin here before long of not managing my life well. So I'm working on it. I'm working on it. Right, Bob?
Exactly.
All right. I'm thankful for Bob too, because Bob is it's crazy. I mean, all the things that you do behind the scenes, and not as much yet. Even there's still more that you're going to be doing. But sounded like a threat. But it's like all of those things are things I was also doing. So, but that's the way church planning kind of happens in the beginning. But if it hangs on like that too long, then things get unhealthy. So I was glad for you. I'm very thankful you're stepping up. I always enjoy when Michael leads it around as well. So he's interested in that too. So anyhow, what else about yesterday?
I love Harper doing circles up there during
Oh,
worship.
too.
That was real neat.
I'm glad she still likes hearing those songs because they were played a lot over the last few weeks.
Yeah.
Just getting ready and stuff. But
It's a nice thing about good music.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Yeah. Hey.
no, it was funny. It was on Saturday. I asked Colette. I was like, "Hey, can you sit down? Like, I want to do a full run through of these. Make sure I got it right. I want you to tell me if any of these sound wrong. Like, be a harsh critic." And yeah, she's very nice anyway, so she's regardless. But no, it was very nice. She sat down, she listened to me, and just made little notes, comments here and there. And,
Oh, good.
yeah, and she was happy to do it too. So
That's good. So she's having to listen to the words
she
of songs and
is,
stuff.
yeah, she is. She's like, "What were you saying there? Is this part supposed to be like this? How's that intro go again?"
And Jake's like, fine, you do it then. no.
Colette shows up with the guitar.
Right.
Yeah,
he wasn't gonna do
that'd
it.
be cool. Get her up there to play on the cajon or
Yeah.
something.
Does she play anything?
No, she's so I have the mandolin for her, but she's picked it up a few times, learned some chords. So she actually picked up her first chord progression on day 1 or 2.
Whoa.
So
Nice.
I was very impressed because sometimes, especially string instruments like a guitar, really to get can take weeks or months to learn another person. Yeah, and she was. So if she
Got the
stuck
knack.
with it, she could totally do it. Yeah.
So I've thought it would be so great and this is coming back from my worship pastor days, where it's like, okay, we don't have anybody that plays whatever instrument, okay, but we really need it for what we're going to do. Let's train some people and teach them how to play.
Yeah,
so we would
absolutely.
just do a Sunday afternoon thing. Somebody would play guitar, somebody would play whatever. And I'd love to do that
percussionist.
now.
Yes.
Harper told me today earlier she wants to play drums.
I gotta
She's-
send you. I keep forgetting to send you this.
There's a nice quiet drum set sitting right there.
No such thing as a quiet drum set.
No,
Oh,
that's
no, that one, yeah,
Well,
that's
true.
too advanced
Put
for her at this
headphones.
point.
Come here and practice.
Yeah.
It was funny. I was like, "Do you want to, play guitar or an instrument like that plays?" "I'll play drums."
Oh, you're
all right.
There you go.
Like perfect. Tracy can give her lessons. But
Absolutely.
Who knows, man?
I don't know.
Road.
I've
Could
seen
be
her
awesome.
dance. She needs to work on her rhythm stuff. She needs a little more time.
We are almost out of time.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, all right. Well, what else about the weekend? I do want to say quickly we had a good time at your house on Friday
Yes.
night.
Yeah.
There's so much that has happened that I'll almost slip past
It was
that.
that was a lot of fun.
I just want to say thanks, Justin.
Justin Bieber. That was his deal. It was a game.
I'm still trying to remember the name of the guy that I was thinking of when I
you are.
said
Yeah,
Justin
yeah,
Bieber.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll make no sense to anybody watching.
Yeah. No.
Anyway, we had a good time.
Don't worry about it.
It was fun.
And we're
Names
getting
of
ready.
goblins.
Yeah, the goblins.
Yeah.
That was funny too.
That was a lot of fun.
I'm trying to think what else from the week. I know we're missing something. There's not a lot going on. We did mention, real fast.
Oh, Annette was online.
That was online, and I felt really bad saying Castanet into the scene because it's like an old joke, and she's heard it her whole life, and I always apologize to her, but it's so
That's
easy
awesome.
to do.
Yeah.
She didn't make a comment, so I guess she was okay.
Probably just went.
It's like
You see, when she logged
Right
off,
time.
it's right after.
yeah, she
that.
logs off immediately. Out of here.
Thanks, John.
I hope not. I'm missing that. I hope that
Oh,
she's
yeah.
back to visit here soon. But and she was interested in the community garden, so I'm not sure what she was thinking if she was going to fly in or
Right,
something
yeah.
and help. But anyway,
That'll work.
but community garden, yeah,
Yeah.
off to a great start.
Yeah, we'll
Kick
figure out
that
our
thing
water
off Sunday.
situation, but
Yeah.
other than that,
All those
great.
plants we planted are about to die
No,
because
they
they have no water.
No, I really, so the ones that were already starts, I soaked those overnight. So those roots
Yeah.
are really wet
Oh,
and everything.
okay.
So they're going to be, and it's not super hot and super sunny or anything. So
Right.
they're going to be okay
There's gonna be some
for
rain, too.
4 or 5 days probably. That might be pushing it, but if I can
We'll
figure
figure
something
it
out
out.
by Thursday, then we'll be fine.
At least the whole plot is not full of plants.
Right,
So
yeah.
it's just the ones that we did. So you don't have to bring in a
And this
lot of water.
beautiful garden, and then it's like, oh,
Yeah.
no. Yeah,
That would be horrible.
I'd call up one of those trucks, like at a construction site that sprays the water for the dust. I'd be like, can you meet me at the front?
Well, I will say that whole experience of us being there is what I had hoped it'd be like, at least for me. I know there
It was a lot
you already
of
had a
fun.
hard weekend,
No,
but it was
it didn't matter. It
fun.
was great.
This kind of work was just kind of fun with you guys.
Oh,
you
definitely.
know?
At the end, you were kind of half joking about not calling it a work day, and because it was the Sabbath, and we're supposed to be doing, our rest. And
Yeah.
because of how we are as a society, so technologically, minded and whatnot, digging in the dirt is definitely something that is relaxing.
Yeah.
It is.
We're
rest.
serving together. I mean, this is a
Also that,
serving
yeah.
thing we're doing.
Uh,
It has twofold purpose at least. One that we hope to bless everybody with, so it has an outreach potential. But it's also some discipleship as we are growing closer together by working together on this project. So I'm cool with it being a Sunday thing.
Flashing.
Oh, it's flashing at us. So I'm saying, time to go.
Yeah.
All right, anything before we get to the final words?
yeah.
All right, well, we meet somewhere in the world every Sunday, and it's always online on Facebook, and you can find us at Compass Church Colorado, and you can discover more at compassdenver.com. We'd love to have you as our guest this Sunday. All right, guys, final words.
Love you guys. Love everyone out there.
Likewise.
This has been great.
Grace and peace to you. That is all we have for tonight, and we are out. Out we go. Away we go. And away with us. Away we go.
And we're